Hello, hello, my name is Callista and welcome back to Cinders. In the last episode, we were faced with quite the question. What is our goal? Do we retake the residence? Do we go for the prince? Or do we escape town? Now, I have been thinking a lot about this choice. And I don't think we're going to go for the prince. I don't think Cinders has any interest in being queen or marrying a man that she really hasn't even met. So that leaves us with two choices. And to be perfectly honest, when I started this Let's Play, I was aiming for the escape town ending. That's kind of where I saw my Cinders going. Now, what I didn't expect to happen was befriending Gloria and Sophia. And I do think we've befriended them. And I don't think Cinders can leave them behind. So we're gonna retake the residence. There's only one way for me to be happy, by being truly independent. And independence comes from status, prestige, and social standing. I learned that from Carmosa herself. That's why I'm going to take her place. Only then can I turn my house into a place where I can live happily. A bold plan. And how will you achieve this? I think that there are actually two possible ways I could do it. I uncovered some dirt that could get Carmosa arrested, but I also talked with her and I think I could change her mind about me if I help her with running the house. Ooh, whilst... Again, another tough choice. Cinders throughout this Let's Play has shown a remarkable amount of empathy for Carmosa. And I think if we have her arrested, that will... It'll mean we take her position, but it will also mean that our house will be humiliated, so I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to impress her. Carmosa may seem cool and collected, but she is truly desperate. The family finances are in ruin. That's why she's trying to play the only investment she has, her daughters. But if I could solve our problems with money, I would show her that I'm far better suited to be the head of the house than she is. Impressing Lady Carmosa. Do you really believe that's possible? Recently, I've learnt that the house is really all that she cares about. All she ever does is aimed at the good of the family and securing the future of her daughters. And that means becoming someone of significance in the eyes of others. So all I need to do is make the money problem disappear. That would be the first step towards lifting the house into greatness one more time. Yes, it would seem that's all you need to do. Although I really don't know how. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting in this filthy town to begin with. I'm sure I could use a little help from my friends. Maybe someone who's good with money in the first place. Someone like Tobias. You mean Tobias, the merchant down the street? Yes, him! I've known him since I was little. You could say we're good friends. It makes sense. Though I still worry that impressing Carmosa so strongly that she'd step down will not be so simple. Money is one thing, but there's also the matter of making the house respectable again. Reputation is an elusive thing, delicate and subtle like mists over the water. That's true. I need to talk about that with Tobias as well. He may not be a courtier, but he has many bright ideas on how the world operates. To be honest, I don't even know that many nobles myself, but maybe the ball could change it. It looks like we have a plan then. Which is much more than what you had when you first came here. It's true. I think I know where I stand now, for the first time in a long time. Still, I just have to go to the ball first. But the way things are now, the ball is just a silly girl's dream. I don't even have a dress. I'm going to surprise you here. That is the least of your troubles right now. I'll get you a dress. One of my own old ones, actually. I used to wear it when I was about your age, and believe me, I melted many hearts in it. I really don't know if... Oh, I'm sure you'll love it. I'll have it cleaned and ready for the ball. Just pay me a visit before you go to the palace and I'll give it you. I should also be able to find some way to allow you inside the palace, so don't worry about it. I just need to pull some strings. Gayday, I'm really grateful for your help. I don't know what I would do without you. Don't mention it. I made a promise to your mother, remember? And a few words of advice and an old dress don't cost me that much. You might even say I managed to pay my debt cheaply. Cheaply? Well, I'm about to leave this town and was afraid that you might come asking for something requiring an actual effort. Madame Gayday, selfish as ever. Do I look like some magical helper from the enchanted realm to you? I'm no fairy godmother, Cinders. And you're very lucky I'm not one of the little folk. Now go, all is set, you know what to do. We do indeed. I have no idea whether this plan is going to work. I have nothing to lose, though. And a life to gain. I need to see this through to have any chance at it. I just hope Carmosa doesn't manage to ruin it. Let's avoid the next random meeting with her, shall we? And let's stop addressing myself as plural. Well, speaking to myself altogether, speaking to oneself is a bad sign, isn't it? Speaking to Tobias should help with that. As well as with a couple of other things. This is going to be a long talk. If anyone can find a solution to this money conundrum, it's him. He has a really good business head on those shoulders of his. Oh, I hope he can come up with something.
Cinders, it's good to see you again. I swear, whatever Lady Carmosa is doing to keep you indoors, it clearly isn't working.
You have no idea, but today it's a bit different. Big changes are coming, Tobias. I came to speak to you about something very important.
Yes, I can see that. Tell me what's going on.
I came to ask you advice excuse me. I came to ask you for advice on business matters.
Really? Now, this is something I honestly did not expect. Although I won't deny that it's a subject I feel very comfortable with. What do you need?
You know I'm not on the best terms with my stepmother, and how easy it is for her to turn my life into...
hell on earth? Yes, I've noticed.
Then I guess you've also noticed that she has her mind fixed on two things she values in life: family and status. Everything she ever does aims at strengthening one or the other, or both. All else is expendable.
Lady Carmosa is an ambitious and driven woman, I must give her that.
Not only that, she also respects, and in the case of her daughters, requires those qualities from others.
I think I'm beginning to see where this is going, but please, continue.
I had no doubts about you being able to grasp my subtle plans. The point is, Carmosa's troubled. The family has financial problems, and her daughters aren't the social predators she designed them to be. She's getting desperate and clumsy, and above all, she could really use some help.
And since she won't be receiving any from her daughters, she might as well accept it from the one who's always been a thorn in her side.
Precisely. If I could solve our money problems, just imagine her astonishment. Her illusions about Gloria being able to successfully take her place someday would vanish immediately. Or at least she should start considering alternatives.
Making her recognize a much more suitable candidate for the job.
Yes. The question is, how do you do it? How do you make a noble house successful?
This is much more complicated than just solving money problems, Cinders. If you were a client asking me for advice on the matter, I'd ask you to pay me extra.
Let's talk about that when I'm the lady of a newly restored powerful house, shall we?
Yes, let's.
What I mean is, solving money problems is one thing. This can usually be done by selling things if you have something that can be sold. Then investing the money where profit can be made, and finally paying your debts, if there are any, and landing safely with a nice, stable inflow. Sounds very romantic.
But restoring a noble house to its former glory, that is a much more complex issue. From what I gathered about noble families, their influence, prestige, and power lies almost entirely in perception of others. If a house is respected, considered prestigious, and the words of its head are deemed influential, it is only because other houses agree that it should be so. The Grand Ball The Grand Ball may be happening every few decades, but the masquerade goes on every single day. You may describe it like that. The point is, there are rules to this game of perceptions. Power and status may be illusions, but they are not arbitrary. So what are the rules? That's my concern. I'm not really an expert on such things. I'm just a common merchant, not a courtier. With your wit, I'm sure you can come up with something. Flattery, how very highborn of you. Maybe you're already on the right track to glory. From what a humble shopkeep can tell you, building prestige is all about parties and societal events. Also having the right kind of people visiting you on a regular basis, so that they can be described as friends of the family. So I guess being friends with the prince might be considered an asset? Nah, princes aren't very fashionable this season. I'm hearing dukes and viceroys are all the craze nowadays. Wait, you're serious? Of course I am. Think about the ball. If I manage to get inside and speak to the prince, I'm sure befriending him won't be difficult. But how will you get inside? Isn't that dangerous? Also, what makes you think he'll like you? I mean, not that you're not likable or anything, but what if he's a dick? Relax, Tobias. Just think, this is my moment. It's probably my one chance in a lifetime to simply approach him and talk. I wanted to go to the ball anyway, I might as well use it to advance my plan. But there will be guards. It's a royal event, it isn't some party you can simply crash. Trust me, I will have aid. Why did that sound so ominous? Also, just look at my options. It's the best chance I have to solve my money problems, impress Carmosa, and finally change my life. I think you get too emotional about this. Try seeing it in terms of losses and gains. You're right. Of course you're right. I still think it's risky, but it's surely an opportunity not to be missed. If you can actually befriend the prince himself, then you should be on the right track. It won't immediately solve your money problem, though. In time, maybe. If you play it right, you could gain honors and even some land of an actual monetary value. But to increase your chances and capitalize on the ball, you should follow up with some parties of your own. Invite the right people, make a lasting impression. And that's a problem. Organizing a posh party like that requires money I don't have. Yes, that's what I was getting to. To solve your money problem, you would need money. Social connections are only going to get you so far. Especially in the beginning. You don't want to become a meaningless flavor of the month. Then I'm in a rut. I need money to make money, which I don't have. I suppose this is not going to be easy, otherwise Carmosa would do it herself. Yes, however, you have one important asset she doesn't have. Namely, being acquainted with a certain prosperous merchant who would be willing to lend you the necessary amount of gold. But only under the condition that you would be the lady of the house. You would do that for me? I would, Cinders. You are my friend after all, and I value that more than money. Your plan sounds crazy, but if it works, it's your chance to finally be set free. I would hate myself if I didn't at least try to help it. I don't know what to say, Tobias. I simply don't. Besides, I know you well enough to think that your plan may just work. And in such case, I would expect some healthy interest once you get rich and famous. We would talk the details once you get back from the ball. Tobias, merchant to the very end. What can I say? The store didn't raise itself to prosperity by itself, you know. Oh, of that I'm sure. I'm really lucky to be able to ask you for advice, you know that. And I'm always happy to provide it. Just be careful out there, alright? Don't worry. I feel that for the first time in my life, I actually know exactly what I'm doing. This will work. See you soon. Bye. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And off she goes. If this were a game of chess, she'd be the queen and I a pawn. Looks like Hermosa is still out. Good. I was honestly afraid I wouldn't be able to get back in time, or worse, stumble upon them on the way home. And nobody should have to come home hoping to find all the people gone, praying to be left alone. Fortunately, with some luck, it's the last time I feel like this. Tomorrow, everything's going to change, one way or the other. I wonder if I'm actually able to do what I'm fighting for. Does that make grammatical sense? I think so. I wonder if I'm actually able to do what I'm fighting for. Can I run this house on my own? Seems easy when Hermosa does it. Yell at a few people, humiliate some, be a bitch, and Bob's your uncle. I hope I won't become her. I hope I won't have to. Alright, enough of this. I need to go into my room and stay there as usual. When Hermosa comes back, I need to look like nothing is going on. Oh, hello. The garden looks odd in this pale moonlight. Everything is set for the ball, but there's no living soul here except me. It seems so unreal. Just a few hours ago, it was full of servants, carefully setting every little piece of decoration. Now, it's deserted as this accent always trips me up. I should have chosen a better accent. Now, it's deserted as the preparations come to an end. Only the wind does not hesitate to run freely and ruffle everything. I have to say, it feels unusual tonight, like a charge about to go off during the storm. This tension in the air almost feels tangible. Our court jester used to greet people, "May you live in boring times." This feels like the grim opposite. Almost like an omen of things to come, a sign of a storm closing in. Interesting times. I wonder whether this has any chance of success. Can I commit to change and make it happen? Is this even possible? I've read the philosophers, but never seen it come true. Books and idealistic theories are one thing, but people tend to resist change, even change for the better. Father didn't make it any easier for me either. He was a good ruler and he was remembered very fondly. Anything I'll do will be seen as betraying his legacy. It would be all the easier if he had been a bloodthirsty tyrant. It feels like a storm is coming indeed. Even if I succeed, history may remember me as a renegade. And will any woman stand by me through this? If this ball is the best way to look for such a person. In the absence of better ideas or better judgment, I have made my decision. The best I could. Now all there is to do is to see things through. And hope. The weather tonight really doesn't feel right. All the dogs in the kennels act as if possessed. I should get back to the palace. Let's hope for an interesting ball night and boring times. I'm glad I could finally take off that damn dress. It's badly done, badly cut, tight as hell, and looks ridiculous. No corrections are going to change it. That little old man called himself a tailor. What a joke! I bet I could do a better job sewing a suit for him. Oh, I'd trim his waist good, cut his trousers tight in all the right places. The little fellow would be even smaller by the time I was done. This whole situation is stupid. No matter how tight and tasteless our dresses are, they won't make any of us princesses. Gloria, weren't you supposed to be in the garden? Oh, that was Sophia, excuse me. Gloria, weren't you supposed to be in the garden? I was, but the weather turned bad so suddenly.
I've never seen the weather change so quickly. Oh, my big mature sister got all spooked by a big bad cloud. Don't be ridiculous, Sophia. I'm not in the mood for this. Maybe you would like to get all soaked in the rain and look miserable, but I surely don't. Well, I don't see a single drop of rain outside. Neither can I. Strange, I swear I could see flashes between the clouds. Are you practicing talking about the weather before the ball? Because it's not working, you're still boring. No, but I can already see you've sharpened your tongue. The prince will surely appreciate your wits. And how is your dress, Sophia? By all things held dear and holy, by all the naive people in this world, I swear, if you ask me this question one more time, you'll feel my pain. The reason I repeated the question so many times today was in the hope it would stretch a little over time. Oh, well, it didn't stretch an inch. The tailor did a good job there. When I wear it, I feel like a properly packaged piece of pork. Why didn't you tell Mother then, when we were at the tailor's? He could have applied further corrections. Because her loving motherly eyes told me, one more complaint and you're dead, girl. Your choice of words is poor as usual, but I agree with your sentiment. Mine is still much too tight as well. I always found it astonishing how my pain tends to trigger such immediate joy in your little black heart. No, it's not like that. I mean, you're right about the joy part, but something else made me laugh. Do tell me, I'm sure it's going to be utterly enlightening. Well, tell me, aren't these dresses a wonderful metaphor for our lives? I fail to see it, I'm afraid. We're trying to fit into clothes which someone else made for us this whole time. Or rather, the image of us in that someone's head. I bet they're a perfect fit for those phantasms inside Mother's mind. Disciplined and pretty as dolls. Stop it. Your bitterness is getting tiring. And stop being so childish. It's only a dress. A lady must learn how to walk, talk, and smile, even if the corset is a bit tight. You know that Mother is only trying to teach us how to behave properly in society. She had to endure far more than a tight dress to get us where we are now. Oh yes, the sacrifices she makes to make us shine during the grand ball. Your cynicism gives you little credit. You know very well that this is important to her. Perhaps. Perhaps it is. But tell me this, sister. Is it important for us? Ooh. Sophia bringing in the good points. Finally, the day's over. Both dresses fit, everything's in place, and even that incompetent tailor agreed to lower the price. All things considered, it went better than expected. It's a shame the girls don't seem to realize how important this is for them. Nor do they appreciate how much effort it takes to prepare two young ladies to make their debut in court. Especially if nobody cared to invite them. They're not even aware of what that means for women their age. By noble standards, they're getting old and must be introduced soon, if they're ever to find a husband. And without a husband, they may as well lock themselves up in this house and wait for old age to come and relieve them of their miserable lives. I hope they'll grow up soon and open those naive eyes to the way the world works around them. It's either that, or they will end up alone, in some dark and empty room, forgotten and hated by everyone. Thank heavens for the night. If nothing else, it's easier to hide oneself in the dark from the gaze of others. If no one wants to see it, it isn't happening. That's the way people work. And I learned that lesson the hard way. Is that a storm coming over the horizon? It's one of those strange, cold ones. Without rain. I think I remember a storm like this. Many years ago. That night when she died. It's no good to think about things like that before I go to sleep. It's late, and the weather's turning bad.
I better close the window before the storm comes.
When she died? Was Carmosa on the scene before Cinder's mother had even passed? Thank goodness it's dawn already. I haven't slept for the entirety of the night. How could I? I feel like there's a dozen especially vicious, poisonous butterflies having a grand ball of their own in my stomach. Poisonous butterflies. That's a good one, Cinders. Lack of sleep will surely make you very eloquent this evening. Still, if things do go according to plan, this has just been my last night spent as a slave in my own house. I can hear Carmosa's voice. Is she mustering the girls again? Her private little army of 2? Well, whatever training she gives them, nothing will prepare them for this evening. Oh my, won't they be surprised. As will be Carmosa. The all-powerful, all-knowing lady will be caught at a loss tonight. I think I should sneak out right after they leave the house if I'm to get the dress before it all starts. So hurry up, girls. Oh, hello, Perrault.
6 additional guards in the main hall. That makes 65. And 2 dressed up as guests, following the prince discreetly. At least that much good has come from the masks everyone will be wearing. Guests can be disguised and mixed in the crowd. Of course, every assassin, vagabond, or other villain opposing the rule of the prince will be dressed as guests as well. This is going to be a long night. The security is quite tight, but during a mass ball, the chance of an unwanted person squeezing in is far too high for my liking. I guess I'll just have to follow the prince closely. Contrary to what His Highness believes, I think a proper guard presence is needed at this event. On the other hand, I'm being let go, so why do I care? The prince has determined that this is the age of politics and plots, not war. Information instead of steel. I wonder how well that will work. Somehow I don't think people change that quickly or willingly. Someone assaults the future king with a hidden blade, but then suddenly the ruler yells, "What's the capital of that land of the mist?" Well, and the attacker folds? But fair enough, I have decided not to adapt, so I'm staying behind. And with my inadequate methods, I shall protect the prince one last time. Then come what may. My attachment to the code, to honour, and to the crown is also a thing of the past. Inadequate. Let me just check the windows and fence one more time. Well, well, look who finally got out of Carmosa's reach and managed to come. I'm so sorry, the sisters kept calling me and wrinkling their nose and demanding adjustments to everything. Their hairdos, the way their shawls are draped and the dresses pressed. And now it's so late I won't make it in time. How could I have missed my chance? They didn't even notice, but they ruined... Calm down, Calm down, girl. You'll be fine. But it's so late and the ball has almost started already and... You're just nervous. And that is fine. There's a big night ahead of you. But trust me, you will get your chance to dazzle everyone. You are right. Maybe I'm panicking a bit. Good thing you didn't see me when I was running over here like crazy. Actually, if you want to make an entrance, cause a stir and get envious looks, you ought to come fashionably late. This way you'll be noticed from the start. Good point. But I guess it's understandable I'm nervous like that. I think every girl your age has the right to flaunt her emotions to the world every once in a while. But thank the spirits it hasn't come to that. Yes, thank you. So, what do I do? Let's start with the dress. You can't go to the ball without one. I'm glad we agree. I mean, technically you could go without one. You'd definitely get everyone's attention then, but somehow I think that's not what you had in mind. I prefer not to, if you don't mind. May I see it? The dress is prepared for you along with everything else in the wardrobe. That's the room on the left there. I'll wait here. Let me just get the lights. Oh my, this is raunchy.
almost explicit, I would say.
Didn't you want to be noticed? This dress should help a lot. Try it on.
It's amazing, and it fits like a glove, thank you.
Told you, and you're welcome.
The shoes are a bit too small though, and they have a stiff high heel. Dancing in these will be a challenge.
You'll manage. This kind of beauty is not achieved through comfort. It's usually bought with a little bit of pain. In any case, this is just for one night, so simply grin and bear it. You should hurry now.
I didn't mean to be ungrateful. The whole outfit looks wonderful. But how will I get inside?
One of the cooks agreed to let you in. I cured his wife last winter, so he has a debt to pay. He'll sneak you in safely.
Great, thank you. Is there anything else I should know before I go?
Just enjoy this. Relish the moment. I believe we make our own fate. So good luck. Make the best of it.
And will Cinders make the best of it at the ball? Well, we're just gonna have to find out in the next episode, so please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.